Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
Biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is the biggest show in the world. I'm the Dream. I'm in the house. It's Monday, and Pats fans, stand the hell up because you guys deserve a standing ovation. The New England Patriots, ladies and gentlemen, are back in the Super Bowl yet again. The most winningest franchise in probably the last 15, 20 years.
Yep.
The fan base has all the reason in the world to be arrogant, to be cocky, to talk a lot of crap, to brag, yet they're one of the quietest fan bases out of all the sports teams around. I cannot say enough about the Pats, and yes, your boy was on the Steelers yesterday, and hey, welcome to the show. I'm here, my boy Hat is here with me. We got a guest coming on later. What's going on, player?
Aw, Dream. You know what? I really, really wish I was able to do the show yesterday because I would have been talking you off the ledge with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what? With all the controversy, with all the additives, with playing in Gillette Stadium and playing in an AFC championship, I mean, the New England Patriots are just the Patriots. And you have, and you know what? I don't know if they get enough credit defensively, but this team is good. And you know what? They're talking a lot of stuff about them being a special team.
Well, the New England Patriots are the New England Patriots.
Right on.
And I know we want to talk about it being a special team, but as far as I'm concerned, the New England Patriots are the only football team that I know that practice common sense. Okay?
Common sense.
And here's what I'm gonna talk about with the New England Patriots, okay? Years ago in football, and I know how you played, I played, when you got to special games and special situations, in other words, you played the team that was the better team, and you played that team, because everybody's got that team that has that, storied record, and there's always that rivalry, and there's always that team to beat that best team. Yep. And wherever you play, whether it's, baby football, high school, whatever, there's always that one team that's kind of like, a special team that everybody wants to beat. Your coaching staff prior to that game got together and decided, after going over film, we want to do X, Y, Z, and we want to stop A, B, C. Okay? Mm-hmm. The Patriots embrace this, all right? Every game the Patriot plays, you see attention to the specific strengths of the team that they're playing against.
Right on.
Okay? This is the one difference that I notice in the Patriots outside of all other teams. I'm going to give you a perfect example of this. The Pittsburgh Steelers go into Miami to play the Miami Dolphins. Or Miami Dolphins come to Pittsburgh, I'm sorry. To play Pittsburgh. We know Pittsburgh's got three incredible players. They got Ben Roethlisberger, they got Le'Veon Bell, and they got Antonio Brown. So somebody in Miami was supposed to take out a blueprint and decide this is what we're going to stop. Okay? I did not see any attention to that in that particular game because Le'Veon Bell was allowed to run wild. However, when you look at the New England Patriots, who, as far as I'm concerned, their defensive line is not better, don't have the better contracts, don't have the so-called better players, don't have Ndamukong Suh on their front four, just like some kind of not Joe Schmo guys, but I'm just saying, not these so-called superstars that are at the NFL with these great contracts, but yet their game plan, the first thing that they decided that they were going to do was they were going to shut down Le'Veon Bell. Now, we never saw whether that was going to come to fruition or not, but there was definitely a special plan implemented by the New England Patriot defense to pay attention to that. The other person that they paid attention to, Antonio Brown.
Sure.
We're not letting Antonio Brown beat us. You can beat us with everybody else, but you're not letting Antonio Brown beat us. This is missing from the other 31 teams in the NFL.
I agree with you, Dream, 100%. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's, they're going to probably zero in on Julio Jones.
Of course.
But obviously you got Gabriel and you've got Sanu and you got some other weapons there for the Atlanta Falcons. And, we're looking forward to a big game there. And we're going to break down these games shortly, guys. I just want to say one thing. I do apologize. Yesterday, I could not be on the show. My beautiful bride got attacked by a dog on Saturday night. And she got bit in the face, and we're in the hospital for, I'd say, till about, I think we left there around 2:30 in the morning. She got stitches in her face, and it was a tough situation. So I was not able to make the show yesterday. But I do appreciate everybody hitting me up and showing support on all the social media outlets, Dream.
No doubt. And I'm sorry to hear about it. Well, I was already gave you my apologies yesterday.
Yes.
I just didn't do it on the air. But I want to get back to the Steeler game.
Yes.
And now I want to talk about Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, let's do it.
And I want to talk about their inability to come up with anything different when playing the Patriots. You have to come, when you go to play a team, you cannot think that you are going to run your regular offense and do your regular what you do. And I've heard this a lot in the NFL. Oh, we're going to do what our do. We're not going to deviate from our game plan. Well, didn't anybody else see Rocky 3? Come on. You guys, you can't. With the film and the education and most of the coaching staffs, and especially an organization like the Patriots, all right? You can't walk in there and think that you're just going to do what you just did to everybody else you played because you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because the Patriots don't care.
Well, here's what I've noticed about the Patriots, Stream, is that they have to be, and this is why I said this. Now, you could look at the Atlanta Falcons and say, obviously, they're the highest scoring offense in the NFL, blah, 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 this whole package, okay? But what makes the Patriots so difficult to defend and what makes them so dangerous is that they have a different game plan every week, Dream. Look at Deion Lewis, for instance. They only let him carry 6 times yesterday. So it was like, the week before they showcased him. So it's like they're always mixing it up. And, he was throwing to the Hulkster like every single down. And you know what I'm saying? Like, last week he showcased Edelman. This week he showcased Hogan. And what's he going to do in the Super Bowl? They just have so many different options and so many different weapons. And it just, as a defensive coach and a defensive player, it just makes you pull your hair out.
Well, to me, it doesn't make you pull your hair out other than if you didn't come up with a game plan and try something different to execute against the Patriots. See, that's my thing with the Steelers. I didn't see anything different out of the Steelers than they usually do. To me, it looked like they came in and they figured they were going to do what they usually do. I didn't see any different type of blitz packages. I didn't see any corner blitzes. I didn't see any man defense. They stayed in that booty zone the whole game.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't work. I didn't see anything out of the Steelers to tell me, hey, even if it didn't work, I just want to see somebody try something different because what they were using was not working. It stifled them to a little bit. And the worst thing that happened was, I heard Tomlin at the half when they were going in, hey, we're only down 1 score, so we're straight.
Yeah.
That's what Tomlin said going in. I'm like, dude, you think you're straight because you're only down 1 score? Because I don't think you're straight based on what I saw. Here's another thing. Steelers start the game off 3rd and 1. A long pass to Sammy Coates on 3rd and 1 versus the Patriots. That's stupid.
Why, you thought Bell should have got the ball and ran it?
Well, yeah, because it's 3rd. Look, pick up the first down. We'll get cute later in the game as people get word out. The Patriots are fresh right now. I'm not going to try to go over the top on 3rd and 1. And by the way, just so you notice, the last person I'm throwing the ball to is Sammy Coates. Let me tell you the Sammy Coates story. Around week 13 or 14, I don't remember what it was, but maybe week 10. one of my wide receivers was on a bye, so I decided to go out and pick up Sammy Coates for that particular game. Sammy Coates dropped about 15, I want to say a minimum of 5, I want to go 15, 5 balls thrown at him. He's got one of the worst hands I ever seen. He reminds me of Ted Ginn. Dude, his hands got like Pam on him. Why do you try to show? Why would you go to Sammy Coates? Sammy Coates has dropped balls all season long. I've watched him drop balls. Why would you try to hit Sammy Coates in New England on a 3rd and 1? To me, that set the stage just for a disaster.
Sure thing, Dream. And you know what? I mean, I texted you during the game. I saw it unfold, and I saw the Patriots how they were just moving up and down the field. I mean, Pittsburgh had no answer, and you got to tip your hat to the Patriots defense. This is one of the best defenses I've seen them have in years.
Well, okay, hold on. I'm going to pull back a little bit with that.
Why?
Ben did sling the ball all over the Patriot defense. They slung the ball. Okay, come on, Ben. They moved the ball. I will say that the Patriot defense did step up in the red zone, okay, and it shut them down. But, dude, the play calling on the 1 yard line, I just can't with them. Every team in the NFL is spreading you out on the 1 yard line and doing something dumb. You got a mobile Roethlisberger for the quarterback sneak, and you're going to try to pound it in 3 times against the Patriots on the 1 yard line? Come on, dude.
I get it.
Dude, that play calling was abysmal.
I'm surprised they didn't go for 2 times in this game.
He did go for 2 at one time.
At the end of the game.
I can't. Hey, guys, I like Tomlin. I know a lot of people are kind of iffy with him. That being said, I'm sorry. And then you guys know once the loss is, I'm already ready to fire somebody once you lose, because I like that. But Tomlin's been there a little while now. It may be time to change coaches.
I don't know.
I'm not saying that Tomlin doesn't belong in the NFL as a head coach. I just feel like he may need to go to another team and somewhere else, because I don't know if his coaching style and this Pittsburgh Steelers team, I feel like maybe they've kind of peaked out.
I don't know if I see that, Dream. I mean, he did lead them to, what was it, like 8 or 9 wins in a row? And
no doubt. I'm not saying he's not. It's kind of like the Andy Reid thing, no hat. You know what I'm saying? Where at some point, like, we just got to go in another direction because we're not getting over the mountaintop. He's been successful. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. I think he is. But my thing is something's not working, because they're just not. And dude, Le'Veon Bell. And I love Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell's a great running back. But Le'Veon Bell not being available in this game, I mean, I'm still a little bit. I mean, if you're injured, I get he's supposed to be injured. This is a bad time for that injury.
Yeah, I get it. Well, I mean, you're not in the man's shoes, so you don't know what was going on. But
no,
yeah.
But did you? I didn't even see. Did you see some type of? I didn't even see a hit or. I don't. What happened?
Maybe his little butt hurt because he couldn't run.
I hit B-Mac up, and B-Mac said he wasn't even hurt, and I almost fell off the chair because I thought that was hilarious. But, dude, by the way, this isn't the first time Le'Veon Bell played them in the playoffs either.
Yeah, I understand.
Listen, I'm struggling with Le'Veon Bell right now, and I'm struggling because was he hurt the week before? Is it something that they kept out of the news? Because, by the way, everybody that's, Jim, you should have known the Patriots are going to... Look, if you would have told me they would have had no Le'Veon Bell, who, by the way, they put the whole team on his back the last 2 playoff games, all right? If you would have said they're not going to have Le'Veon Bell, I probably would have rethought the wager. Just a tad bit.
I got you, brother. I got you. So the New England Patriots emerge, as they always do. And you know what? Hey, they looked good. Dream. Listen, I get it with the play calling. I understand what you're saying about Tomlin as far as the play calling is concerned. Not so much the coaching change, but I get it. And it was just, at the end of the day, New England was just the better team, Dream. You got to give it to them. They're the better team, period. So that's it. And hey, unless you got any more thoughts on this game, we'll talk about the other game.
I got no more thoughts. The only thing I am going to say, too, though, Pat's got away with 2 calls that I'm still a little bit agitated about as well. The roughing the passer, not the roughing the passer. That targeting call on Edelman was garbage. And then Brady fumbled the ball, and they just said, no, he didn't. And then when the Steeler guy fumbled, they immediately gave the ball to the Patriots. And that's all I'm going to say about the reffing. But other than that, most of the reffing was good. The Brady fumbled the ball, though. That was a bad one. And the Steelers recovered that, and they just kind of just disregarded that whole play set.
Is the NFL the watered-down product, Dream?
Well, apparently, yeah, because only the Patriots are good.
You know what? I'm just looking forward to Goodell having to hand the trophy over to Tom Brady this year.
If he does it, because he made sure he went to Atlanta and stayed clear away from New England.
And you know what? I have to laugh at the hashtag that's going on Twitter right now, not my Super Bowl. All these people are out there saying they're going to protest the results of the AFC and NFC playoffs.
Why?
And they're breaking balls on all these idiots that are out there protesting for Trump. And
why
they're
don't
saying,
you got to be idiots, though?
come on, Dream, stop.
But I don't get why they're idiots. If they're not happy with it, it's their right to protest.
It is.
So
all
why
right,
are they
whatever.
idiots?
Okay. All right, I'll take it back. Whatever. I'm just saying that you could do something a little bit more productive. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you got a couple million people out there, maybe go protest and raise money for battered women, or do something that's more. I think
what they're trying to get across, they're just trying to get their views and their issues across. You know, Trump has said some stuff throughout this election process in some of his comments that have kind of stepped on a lot of people's toes, and a lot of people feel slighted by some of the things he said. So they're out in protest, letting them know that they're not having it. I don't get what your problem is with that.
Are you a fan of Madonna saying all those nasty things that she said about bombing the White House and stuff?
I'm not a fan of. Listen, I'm not a fan of none of it. But I'm just saying that some people feel slighted and felt like they needed to get out there and let their opinions be heard, just like he's let his opinions be heard. And I don't have an issue with them. That's their. As long as there's no violence. Like if it's violence, now I'm not with it. If you're burning down cars and you're whatever, that I'm not with. But if you're peacefully letting them know or whatever, I'm good with that. I got no problem with that.
Here's the irony of the whole thing:
Yes.
Starbucks donated almost $1 million to Hillary Clinton, yet the protesters the other day threw rocks at the windows of Starbucks. Really? That's all I'm saying. That's just one small example of my opinion.
Yeah, you laughing about everybody out there, but I don't know that you know the. I'm gonna let it go. I don't want to get into politics. We gotta go talk about ATL a little bit.
Let's move over
get
to
into it a little bit. But anyway,
let's move over to the ATL and Green Bay game. Dream, Atlanta. The offense was unstoppable. Green Bay had no answers defensively for this team whatsoever.
No answers. And offensively, there wasn't a lot of answers either in the first half, to be honest with you. And you're talking about a team in Atlanta that doesn't have the greatest defense in the world. And, you know, they kept Aaron Rodgers at bay. And, you know, I thought that Green Bay was out of gas. For the reason that they lost, they beat Dallas, or I thought that Dallas would probably beat Green Bay, is why Atlanta murdered Green Bay, because I thought the Green Bay was out of gas going into Dallas, and then I really thought they were going to be out of gas going into Atlanta. I did hear a lot of exchanges about Hall of Fame quarterback and Aaron Rodgers, and that, of course, sticks in the back of your mind, in the back of your head. But, dude, they were done. I mean, Green Bay, they were done. By the time they got to Atlanta, they were just done. I think they were done physically. I think they were done emotionally. I think they were done, you know, defensively. Every aspect of that game, you could tell that they used every last bit of their energy beating the Dallas Cowboys, which almost they didn't do. And, hey, Atlanta just went in and went ham on them.
They did. Absolutely. And, I mean, when you looked at the drives, the offensive drives and I mean, it was touchdown, field goal, touchdown. I mean, it was just, I want to say it was like, what was it, like 6 out of 7 drives they scored, and mostly touchdowns. So, like you said, I mean, Green Bay was clearly out of gas. And you know what? When you look at it, and Sanu was good. Julio Jones had 180 yards, Dream. 180 yards on 9 receptions.
And took a couple hellacious hits and just kept on trucking.
Yeah, right. Crazy. Absolutely nuts. But you know what? Hey, they emerge. So now the Atlanta Falcons will finally be in the Super Bowl after several years of coming up short in the playoff stream. 44-21 final score. They beat up on the Green Bay Packers, and Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Hey, good year, though.
Great year, man. Great year. Of course, they gave us the gift. And listen, by the way, Cowboy fans, I just want you to know something. Fall back. Don't say nothing, all right? You guys talked a lot of trash this season, period, okay? If you think that loss to Green Bay is just going to go away and nobody's going to talk about it no more, not happening. We're not forgetting about how you just got beat by the Packers at home in the playoffs with that offensive line I heard about all season long, Dak Prescott that I heard about all season long, and Ezekiel Elliott that I heard about all season long. So if you think that I'm just going to go away and leave that alone, you're wrong. And it's not about hate. It's about you guys ran your mouth after like the fourth win of the season like you do every year. 2 years ago, you did the same thing when you went on that little roll. The run of the mouth starts. The Patriots, who are 1,000 times more successful than you in the last 15 years, you never heard a peep out of them about, this is our year to go to the Super Bowl. And they were mad consistent too. The minute the Cowboys had a great record, that's all they talked about. We're going to the Super Bowl. You never even heard the Patriot fan base peep about going to the Super Bowl. Yep.
Right on, Dream.
So I don't want to hear that because I've gotten some rhetoric back about how I'm a hater and this, that, and that. I'm not a hater at all. I do hate that the fans talk a lot of trash and you guys haven't won nothing since the 90s. And yeah, I'm a Niner fan, but we went to the Super Bowl 5 years ago. So now, what you guys do?
All right, on, Dream.
Anyway, back to the matters at hand. Okay, so here's where I'm at with the Super Bowl.
Oh, you're already there.
I am already there.
Wow.
My head in my heart likes Atlanta. I think that Atlanta will win, but my head and my money is going to be on the Patriots because I can't bet against the Patriots. But I do think that Atlanta will win the Super Bowl.
You really think so, huh?
Yeah, I do.
How? Let's just put this into perspective for a minute. We'll have the conversation. Obviously, I mean, guys, we got 2 weeks to go here before the Super Bowl.
It was the same situation with the Steelers. I felt that they had a extremely dominant offense. I felt that if you keyed in on one thing, they would beat you with the other thing. And I say the same thing about Atlanta. If you key in on Atlanta's run, which Atlanta's run is awesome because it's a two-headed run. It's not just one running back, it's two running backs in tandem. And if you key in on their run, they're going to beat you with the pass. If you key in on their pass, they're going to go to the run. They have a lot of additives to this offense, and this offense can churn. So that is how I feel about the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm going to save my opinion for as we get closer to the Super Bowl, but
my money is going on the Patriots. I'm betting the Patriots.
Well, I'm going to tell you this much, and I believe we have our guest on, and we'll get to her in 1 second. I can just tell you this much, that the New England Patriots have the top scoring against defense in all of the NFL. They only give up 15.6 points per game. They're number one.
He's not to me.
Okay, fine.
Don't let him. That's playing the Texans. That's playing the Miami.
That's playing the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Steelers looked awful yesterday. Stop.
All right.
And they had no Le'Veon Bell.
Even still had D'Angelo Williams.
Play Brock Osweiler's son.
I mean, this is regular season. I'm talking here.
Pancakes, talk to me, baby. Please
hey, what's
tell
up,
me
Pam?
I need to hear something good from somebody hot.
How you doing, babe?
I'm doing well, thanks, guys. What the hell argument did I just walk into?
Oh, my God. You walked in the head telling me about the Patriots are dope because they beat Brock Osweiler.
Oh, really?
Pam, what's up? It's so good to hear your voice this morning. I needed a breath of fresh air. The week yesterday treated me bad. How you doing, baby girl?
I'm doing well, thanks, guys.
Did you enjoy the games yesterday, Pam?
Believe it or not, I actually enjoyed the Atlanta-Green Bay game a hell of a lot more, even though it was a blowout. I enjoyed that game a hell of a lot more than I did the Patriots-Steelers game.
Okay. Why is that?
Just the Patriots-Steelers game frustrated me right from the beginning. For one, it just seemed like, I don't know what it is. It's like the Steelers just didn't seem to be there. And from the first play when the Patriots touched the ball and they had that big play at the beginning, I looked at my dad and I went, this is going to be a blowout. And he went, the other game was a blowout. And I said, I know, but I'm not going to enjoy this. And he just laughed at me because, and it's not that I wanted the Patriots to lose. I really thought that there was going to be something a little bit more competitive. I think that was me just talking myself into it. I mean, honestly, Big Ben on the road is really not that great himself. And I mean, this season he only had 4 300-yard plus games in week 1, 4, 5, and 10. So I mean, to have the expectations that people did, like, oh well, I'm gonna fear Big Ben Roethlisberger going in there and giving the Patriots a fight. That team was not ready to play. I don't know what Steelers team showed up, but it wasn't one who just realized they were in the AFC Championship game. And then Big Ben, after the game, somewhat throwing his team under the bus, saying that he felt the game was too big for some young players. Give me a break.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, they did have a little bit of a young offense. Big Ben, Big Ben throwing people under the bus. I don't know why Big Ben bothered throwing to Sammy Coates, and that's the difference between Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
No, Belichick would have never even had Sammy Coates on the field.
The game plan was terrible. The Steelers' game plan was terrible.
Yep.
It was just awful. It's like, I'm not even sure why they thought this game plan was going to work. And then I go to my Twitter feed and I see, well, this is what Elongate does. This is what happens when teams get the flu. No. These are professional athletes that are taking the field. I don't care if an alarm was pulled at 3 o'clock in the morning to give some other team an advantage. Who knows? Half of those athletes are probably not even sleeping anyway.
Yeah, Dream, you heard about that, right? They pulled the alarm at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I know. Which was I talked about that during the week about the Patriots would do something shiesty, which they did. Pam, I am going to say this. Aren't you a New England Patriot fan, though?
No, I'm a New York Giants fan.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought you were a Patriot fan.
Well, she's from the area.
No, I'm from the New England area. I mean, and I did do some work with WEEI in Boston, but I never ever made secret that I'm a New York Giants fan.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Okay.
I thought you were a Patriot fan for some reason, and that's my
Are you
bad.
kidding? One of the happiest days of my life was 2007.
Oh, yeah,
I was
right.
the only Giants fan in the friggin' room. Everybody else.
Trust me, you're not the only one that was happy because the Giant fans will not stop talking about that neither.
And we won't. And the funniest thing was I saw the funniest meme that came across my feed a couple of days ago. I retweeted it out and I just subtweeted it and put yes please, and it said make Eli great again.
Yes.
And I just thought it was the funniest meme. It's like, I have a sense of humor as a Giants fan as well. But, I mean, for me, one of my best sporting moments is 2007. I'm not going to be ashamed to say, yes, I cried. And you know what? I cried because I was so happy that everybody else in the room was miserable.
Got it.
That's the kind of person I am.
All right, so Pam, who wins the Super Bowl?
The Atlanta Falcons.
Wow.
Oh. Okay, is that because you hate the Patriots, or is that because Atlanta can win the Super Bowl?
It's because what I saw yesterday. And I know Green Bay's defense and their secondary is trash. I understand that. But I also think that this Atlanta offense is going to be able to handle what New England has. The reason why I say that is because you have Julio Jones, and they're going to have to give him enough respect to give him double coverage. But then you also have Sanu. Gabriel, I'm not too sure on all the time. I know the potential's there. The dropsies bother me a little bit with him. But you have other weapons for Matt Ryan. And not only that, but they have a good running game with Coleman and Freeman. Their offense is just so balanced. I think it actually may be a little bit more difficult for the Patriots to handle than they initially think.
Wow, and it's so sexy hearing the Sporty Diva talk sports this morning. As you all know, I'm back in the dating game, and most of my dates don't want nothing to do with sports, which means I don't really want nothing to do with them. But
Right on. I know, Dream, you got to call the dating show later.
yeah, I do have to call a dating show as I've been in
You
the.
do Thursday nights at 10 p.m.
Yeah, it's been. Listen, you don't really want me on there because I got real salty about my dating experiences. It's been kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers offense yesterday. Dusty.
Right on. So you got Pamela Michelle calling the Atlanta Falcons to win the Super Bowl. I think you're going to see a lot of the tickets balanced this year, Dream.
No.
You know, I think you're going to see a little bit of both sides.
Why would they be like? Why would you take? I mean, honestly, okay. Let's think about this for a minute. As a gambler, I'm sorry, I got to do this as a gambler. Why would you take the Atlanta Falcons? I think that's, to me.
Well, I'm talking about straight up win. I'm not talking about as a gambler. As a gambler, I think you would have to go Patriots with the points.
No, the Patriots aren't getting points.
No,
the Patriots are giving points.
Giving points.
Oh, okay, they're giving points. I forgot. They're favored by 3.
Right. No matter what, the Patriots are giving 3. But still, as a gambler, you cannot take Atlanta. You can't. If you know anything about, I'm sorry, other than you love messing with a dog, you cannot take it based on the Patriots' body of work, their history, everything. You cannot take the Atlanta Falcons. You just can't. I'm sorry.
You know what? There's going to be a lot of dog players that are going to take them, Dream.
Well, it's only 3, so I don't think that doesn't make Atlanta.
So how much do you think the line moves as we get closer to the Super Bowl? How much do you think it's going to move?
I don't think it's going to move much because you know what? If you have that half-point move one way or the other, like a 3.5, I mean, this is the key number in sports. This is almost like a 7.5, where it's one score. So if it goes 3.5, you're going to get a lot of Atlanta money coming in because of that half point, and then vice versa. If it goes down to 2.5, you're going to start getting a lot of Patriot money. So they're going to be very, very careful on this line movement. I really feel that way because they're trying to obviously balance the money. So I think 3 is like the right number, and I wouldn't be surprised if it lands right on the number. Well, actually, I would be surprised because at the end of the day, I just want you to just put this in your brain. It's the Atlanta Falcons versus the New England Patriots. Think it, just repeat that to yourself a few times.
And that's why I said you cannot
versus the New England
Patriots.
It's the Atlanta Falcons versus the New England Patriots.
You cannot do it. You just can't. And if it happens, then you're not even mad. And like I said, I won't even be mad at myself. I'll be probably happy that they won. But because at the end of the day, if you put money on Atlanta and New England wins, you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror and say, what's wrong? Am I stupid? What's wrong with me?
What if people just have money to burn?
I don't know. They just send it
to you? Is that it? Is that what you're saying?
That's a white thing, Pam. Money to burn.
Okay. What's the address for them to fund that dating service of yours, Dream?
Black folks don't got money to burn. Sorry. We ain't at that level yet. We trying to get there. We thought we was on our way, but now in comes Trump. So back to the back of the bus.
I told you he's doing a lot for the African American community. I think you're gonna be all set, brother. I really
back to the back of the bus hat.
I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised with the with Mr. Trump at the helm, Drew.
Pam, listen, we haven't talked to you in a minute, but I do want to hear, since Hat has brought it up, and guys, we're going off the storyline for sports for a minute. Just relax. We'll get back to it. But Pam, how do you feel? Because I know a lot of women seem to feel slighted by Trump, and I'm not the most, right now we're going through a divorce, I'm not the most sympathetic to women's rights right now. But I'm just saying, what's your feel about Trump?
Okay, well, my feel about Trump is that he is the president of the United States, and I respect that. I did not vote for him. I also did not vote for Hillary Clinton. But I used my voice the day I voted for president of the United States. I understand why the Women's March happened, but I also feel it's very one-sided because they also didn't include women marching for pro-life. And I think that is just a very nitpicky type of thing. And I just feel like when you get these women in numbers, it's impressive to see. But at the same time, it also makes me wonder how many of them actually voted. I don't feel like you deserve to be there wearing your pink vagina hat and standing up for women's rights if you didn't get your butt to the voting booth and cast your vote for president of the United States.
Yeah.
And what you also have to understand, too, is, well, I get that Trump is pro-life and he's going to probably, detail the Supreme Court that way. It's going to take a lot to overturn Roe versus Wade. It's going to take a lot for that to happen. I think that everybody, and I'm not saying that they have to have a laxical approach to it, but I think everybody just needs to calm down first before they even see where this administration is going. Everybody already has the idea in their head of what's going to happen before it actually does. Now, there's a lot of things with Planned Parenthood where people say, oh, well, what about victims of rape? Well, there is the morning after pill for that. That is something that's provided. Planned Parenthood isn't going to be completely taken away by a pro-life movement. And I feel like a lot of this is just lack of research on people's parts as well.
You know what? And you're right on the money with that. And when they ask a lot of people that are protesting why they're doing it, a lot of them fumble over their words. They don't even know.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Dream, this is what I'm getting at.
They just want to be there there because Madonna told them to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
ridiculous.
because I don't like Trump. Oh, really? Okay. Well,
what
about...
Okay, well, what don't you like about him?
Yeah,
and
I'm with
I
you,
understand
Pam.
He's very polarizing. He's a very, like him or hate him type of guy. You're either a Trump guy or you're not. Again, I didn't vote for him, but I did use my voice. Somebody had tweeted at me when I said I thought Madonna's speech was filthy and disgusting, especially since there were kids in the audience these women brought their children to this women's march.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the audience was predominantly kids, but there were kids there. Scarlett Johansson was very eloquent and perfect in what she said and how she voiced her thoughts. Yeah. Ashley Judd was disgusting. And I just feel like they're promoting more hate than a solution.
Right on.
Mike, okay, I'm just going to, we got way into this more than I wanted to, but I do want to say this about the women thing, all right? Out of all the presidents that have taken office, okay, and I know we probably could maybe kick Kennedy right to the curb a little bit as far as that's concerned. Donald Trump, though, to me, all right, like, and probably you too, like, I see a whole lot of kind of playing around with women out of Donald Trump more than I see. Even though, like, Bill probably, a lot of those other guys probably had that in him and did that. But I don't think it's any secret that Trump has maybe been and maybe still has been, in some sense, a bit of a womanizer. I'm sorry. I mean, I just got it. I think we could all maybe agree on that a little bit. Like when Donald Trump was doing the beauty pageant contestant, like you knew that Don was probably inappropriate with a bunch of girls in the pageant.
But how many of those women too were looking at him as an opportunity to advance their careers, and then all of a sudden it didn't?
Right,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what.
Yeah.
It's a very two-sided thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but all I'm saying is I do feel like a little bit of that stigmatism has to do with the women's movement in regards to Trump. Because when I think of Trump, I don't, especially in the this is the president of the United States. The president of the United States could be a scumbag behind the scenes, but in the forefront, this guy's got to be squeaky clean. Like, nobody wants to think about the president in the White House right now in the Oval Office surfing porn, which Trump very well could be doing right now.
You don't think that was on Bill Clinton's hard drive when he was getting favors from Monica Lewinsky?
But I'm just saying, when we think about Trump, though, right out of the gate, we already start.
No, I agree. He is something very different. And again, I think that a lot of people are up in arms due to media sensationalism because they already think our country is doomed, and they haven't given him a chance to doom it yet.
Not at all. Not at all. I think that it's definitely. I mean, they're coming at him for every little thing he's doing.
Yeah.
Dream, he's going to get way more scrutinized than Obama.
I know, and I kind of like that in a sense. But if I
as
ever
the media, it's great. As the media, it's great. It's going to give us 4 years of something, to talk about nearly every week.
And I don't know if you guys heard this, but there's a really good chance that Apple may be investing into the U.S. And if that's the case, Dream, there is going to be a ton of jobs coming here, man.
Well, my first question would be, why wouldn't Apple be invested in the U.S.? They are already invested in the U.S., no?
Dude, there's some talks going on that there's some major stuff coming down.
That's Trump and his rhetoric.
I'm
Every
telling
time I
you.
hear him, and I don't really like him, but the one thing I don't like the most about him, every time he talks, though, it's like he's always like he's doing so. It's like, dude,
I feel like with him is he's not eloquent when he talks. Obama was engaging. He was very magnetic. You wanted to listen to him even if you didn't agree with what he had to say. He spoke well. Trump does not. And the reason why is because I feel like even though he has money, he's almost very an everyman kind of guy where there's not a filter. And unfortunately, that doesn't exactly bode well for us as a nation when the world is looking at us, because there's this guy speaking who's not very eloquent, where, Clinton was a good speaker. Bush, had his moments where he did well speaking. I mean, you want somebody who's going to look very polished, who's going to speak well, and here's this guy going up and being behind a microphone, and his grammar is just atrocious. But at the same time, everybody's all of a sudden saying this is what he's going to do, and it's going to ruin our country. I know that he's not going to deliver on all his campaign promises, and no candidate ever does. But if he can at least get the aisles to meet in the middle and get some of what he wanted done, as far as taxing products from companies who used to be in the United States that that their product isn't taxed back into the country. Yeah. They moved their plants and factories to other countries for a cheaper rate, and that product isn't being taxed in. Yep. There's a lot of different things that he's going to try to do. He may succeed, he may not. But if he can at least get companies who are thinking about moving to Mexico or taking their company plant and moving it to Japan and thinking, oh my God, well, if I do that, my product is going to be taxed coming back into the country. How worth it is it for me to lose these American jobs?
Yeah, right. And one other thing too is Dream, and here's just, I know we're getting, we're going into this a little bit here, and.
But we should. Guess what? This is our country. Anybody's got a problem with that, then I guess you got to turn on ESPN, because sports does not. This is our lives, guys. This is your children's lives and everything. So this is important. This is important. What we're talking about.
Here's what I love about the new administration that's coming in. Dream, that they're not taking any crap from anybody. That this guy. He's got balls of steel. He's going to be going after the terrorist groups. He's going to. He does not. He's just got a short fuse with that. And you know what? Another thing is you want to talk about the level of respect that some of these countries are going to have. Mexico handed over El Chapo the day of the inauguration, where they refused to do it. Mexican president handed him over that day. They don't want no issues. Telling you, man. Wait, we'll see. And you know what? If he goes in and destroys ISIS, I think everybody will have a little different opinion about Trump, to be honest with you.
Again, a lot of it is just media sensationalism as well. There's a lot of fear right now going on in our country, and that people can't deny that. And bringing it back to the women's rally, I think that the numbers were amazing. It was impressive, but I think that a majority of it was directed in the wrong direction.
All right. My boy Jonesy just told me that 75% of Apple's money is overseas, and majority of his jobs as well. He said that if he could even bring half of that back, it's huge. So,
yeah.
All right, so Jonesy, make sure when you get your job at Apple to hit us up with a pick.
Right on.
I love Cass talking about. You know what? Let's get up. Bam, listen. It's great having you on. We got to get you out of here. We got to get a little bit into tonight and get back to the sports. But it was great talking with you, having you on. Your official Super Bowl pick is the Atlanta Falcons.
It is.
All right. And why don't you tell everybody where they can catch you at, the dating show times and days, and we'll get you out of here, and then we'll get you back.
All right. Well, you can catch me doing that dating show at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. till midnight on the OC Nation every Thursday night. I always tweet the link out on my Twitter handle, and that is at Sporty Diva.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and great conversation with you today.
No doubt. Good talking to you, babe.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
You too, honey.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks.
All right, Dream. So let's get right into what we got going on today. It is Monday, January 23rd. We're already almost done with this month.
We are almost done with this month. It's gone by fast, gang. It is 9:46, so take the picks with a grain of salt that we give out are the plays that I'm going to discuss. There hasn't been a plethora of homework done, just so you know. All right, I was a little bit salty about what I saw out of Pittsburgh last night, and you guys know I don't sugarcoat nothing. I did have a nice wager with Pittsburgh. It was a teaser. I had them plus 3.5. I thought it would be successful. I shared it out on Twitter because we didn't do the show yesterday, and of course, you know, I got a couple of small shots, not as much as I thought I would get, even though most of the knuckleheads are blocked. But I did share it because that's what I did, and I obviously hold no gun to nobody's head. Everybody's entitled to what they're entitled to, but I honestly felt that the Pittsburgh Steelers had a really great opportunity to beat the Patriots. I thought that their offense would have a lot more success than they did. Ben, to me, played great. I have no problem with Roethlisberger's game yesterday. I except the one decision of to throw deep to Sammy Coates. That's my only issue that he did. Other than that, Ben played phenomenal as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what happened with Le'Veon Bell. I really struggle with that. However, to me, the coaching staff on the Pittsburgh Steelers failed them.
Yep.
And even though if they had changed some stuff, they might have gotten beat regardless. I would have at least seen some changes so I could say, so that at the end of the day, they could say, hey, we did this, we did that, we did the other, and it didn't work. And I wouldn't have a problem with them. But to see them just come out and do what they did and just continue it throughout the game and no adjustments bothers me for that type of game and for what the money those guys get paid. Because, by the way, them coaches all make hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's not like they work, it's not like they're making $50,000 doing that. They make hundreds of thousands, in some cases, over $1 million doing some of the stuff they do. So, that being said, let's get right into this evening. And Hat's already mentioned the opening line on this game is 3. Hat, you don't see this going up to 4 by Super Bowl, though?
Dream, that if it does, it's going to sway the money big time. You know that 3.5, 2.5 is a major line movement in pro football. You know that.
I do know that, but so, I see it moving. I probably see at least a half. I see it at least at 3.5 by Super Bowl.
All right, I can see it too. I mean, if you could find 2.5 somewhere at some point, you're going to be in great shape.
Well, the thing is, buy it down now.
Yeah, you can buy it down now, exactly.
Go get it and buy it down. Which is why I'm talking about it. If you do like the Patriots, my recommendation would be to go ahead and get on that and buy it down now if you like them. As far as tonight's concerned, first we're going to take it to the NBA. We did not get a chance to talk about what went down Saturday.
Oh, you had to go there, right?
I do have to go there.
Cleveland Cavaliers did not. Well, you know what, Dream? I was watching a little bit of the game, and then I had my situation happen.
Oh, okay.
So I did not get to finish watching the game, but I was clearly getting the texts from you, and maybe it had a little something to do with the fact that you and Dizzle were on my boy. Because you know what? If I was by my lonesome, I think I would have been all set with that.
Oh,
game,
yeah. It was us.
All right. But anyway, listen, the Cleveland Cavaliers crashed and burned the other night, and we did have the Bulls, but obviously the Cleveland Cavs was tied in with it, so I wasn't able to cash on that one. But, Jim, I got to play tonight.
Okay.
I have the Indiana Pacers to beat the New York Knickerbockers tonight.
That right there, my friend, is a stellar play.
You like it, right?
I love it.
All right.
Because the Knicks are just, they're awful. They're a mess. They're not a good team. I wouldn't get involved with this game, Hat, but I hear you. I know, and the Pacers are dope at home.
Yeah,
we
I know
that.
16-5.
Because I just can't figure out the Knicks, though, right now.
16-5, the Indiana Pacers are at home, 5-0 in their last 10 games at home, and the New York Knickerbockers are on the road, 7-15 on the year, and 2-3 in their last 10 games, as far as being on the road is concerned. So, looking at it here, Dream, I like the Indiana Pacers. I may even lay the number of 5.5.
Oh,
yeah, I'm pretty confident that they're going to win the game by, I'd say, like 8 or more.
I concur. I
All
could
right.
not agree with you more. I just don't want to get involved with it because I got some other things that I like more. But I absolutely agree with you.
All right, where you at next?
Okay, I got no NBA plays, but I'm just going to mention a couple things about the NBA. First of all, Golden State Warriors, why not? Okay, like I can't, like while Cleveland is over here struggling, it looks like Golden State is hit their stride. Miami Heat is decimated with injuries. Golden State's coming in. They are on fire right now and just murdering anybody that comes in front of them. Okay, and I know I'm not going to get overly excited because we saw Golden State's success last year without Kevin Durant. This year, it looks that much more potent. They just got finished murdering the Magic. That was yesterday in the daytime. They got the Miami Heat tonight at 7:30. They didn't travel. They're in Orlando. They played the Magic in Orlando. Then they go to Miami. That's they probably got in a boat with ODB and went right down to Miami and had some fun down there. And by the way, the Golden State Warriors can get on the boat and still go into Miami and wear the Heat out.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
So I don't see why not minus the 11. If you can get rid of the 11, even better. But I right now do not bet against the Golden State Warriors. On another note, the Cavaliers are headed to New Orleans. Anthony Davis and the New Orleans Pelicans are coming off of that beat down by the Brooklyn Nets.
Right on, Dream. And when you get a second, check the doc page when you get a chance. But.
And here come the Cleveland Cavaliers coming into town off of the loss to the Spurs that Cleveland is a little bit salty about because they did attempt to win this game, but they had certain defensive breakdowns and offensive breakdowns. And by the way, the Spurs almost blew this game because this game should never went to overtime. The Spurs should have won this game in regulation and blew their end game, which Pop was very irate about. Nevertheless, here comes Cleveland going into New Orleans. Be very careful with that. I don't have a direction here. I just want you maybe to stay away from it and just keep a note. That's what's going on with that.
Sounds good.
We got to get out of here, guys. I'm just going to give you these two plays real quick. In hockey, I like the Rangers, I like the Sharks, and I like the Capitals. Rangers, Sharks, Capitals. 3 games, 3 plays. I absolutely love the Capitals. Will be my first. The Sharks would be a nice second, and the Rangers would be my last. If you got to put them in, symmetrical order, you might want to do it like that. I think you could put them all together in a money line parlay and go. I think you could mix it with some NBA. I think you could, if you bomb, I think you could play the Sharks, which is a 9:00 start to save the day like we did the other night. That's my NHL play as well.
All right, sounds good, Dream. So what do you got to do to close out of here, my man?
Just thank everybody that's retweeted the show. Give me 1 second. I know we gotta get out here. I'm sorry, guys, for the rush, but let's see. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to pull it up.
No problem.
All right, I'm gonna skip it today. You guys know who you are. Frank Vincolado's out there. We got Buster Carr out there. Terrence Max out there. Winning Picks got down with us this morning. Joseph Del Rosario as well. Face Kicker, Immaculate Kruk is out there. C. Rodriguez Jr., my boy Urban, Vegas Girl 92661, Sin City Maverick. Good to see you. We had your girl on. Good. Thank you, Pamela Michelle, USA Sports 24, JC, and the rest. Gang, I'm the Dream. Always remember who you're with. Make the most of each and every day because you cannot get this time back. We will be back on Thursday to kick it with you. And just so you know, put this in your book calendar. We're not going to be here this weekend.
All right, Dream. Thank you very much, guys. It's Monday. Go grab the world by the balls. Do whatever it is you got to do whatever it is you want to do and get that money. Let's go.